on a lot of them. And again, all the resources, like the federal partners that we have, also followed up on some of the tips. There's 400 plus of police officers. A lot of them came to work. We didn't even know that they were working, and so it all came down to collaboration, cooperation, and that's why we're at now. So.
Can you explain to us what police are doing right now? They've got streets still blocked off. Can you explain to us what?
I'm sorry, Molly. Say that again.
Can you explain to us what police are still doing? They're blocking off streets right now. Can you kind of explain? Should people stay clear of that area?
Yeah, again, we're still in the process of collecting evidence, and so we're putting it all together. Policing is very, it's a difficult job. We have to make sure that we protect due process and the integrity of the investigation, so we may collect other evidence, and that's why we're still out there. We haven't, but we're confident enough that we are able to say that we detained somebody of interest. So.
Can you share if there's any updates about what's going to be happening with final exams or final projects beyond what you already shared?
Yeah, I mentioned last night that we had canceled the finals today. There were 4 finals. We're in the process of putting together some announcements and updates with guidance for the coming week.
Chief, there's a question.
Yeah. Yes.
Hi, Chief. Should students still expect to see police and other law enforcement officers walking through campus, knocking on doors? Or?
So absolutely, the command staff and obviously the patrol division, we spoke about this. So we have actually enhanced the presence in the staffing for the day. Just to make sure that people see us, and so yes, we will be out there, and so just like we do, on the weekends, especially like last night was extremely busy. We have several events going on in the city. We have 200,000 population of the city, but on the weekends it picks up, and so just today we the same, especially the snow coming down, so we'll have an enhanced, but up here we'll definitely have a presence.
Let me just add to that a little bit. There are still a couple streets closed here proximate to campus as the investigation continues and evidence is collected and such. Throughout the city of Providence, proactively, individuals will see an enhanced police presence, not because there is particular cause for concern or evidence being gathered in another corner or another, but we know that it is a Sunday in the holiday season, and we want folks to feel safer knowing that there are people in a position of authority throughout the city today. We're receiving assistance from the state police to that effect, and so we don't want that to be alarming. We want that to be reassuring to our residents, to our visitors, and those who might be in Providence today. Right immediate to where the incident occurred yesterday, there might still be an enhanced police presence because the investigation is ongoing. But if you see police elsewhere in the city of Providence, please know that we are doing that in a proactive manner for the comfort and reassurance of our community, not because there was evidence there or any cause for concern in the other neighborhoods in Providence.
Mayor, can you talk a little bit about the victims? There was, and I know you gave us the conditions. Were they students? When we're relaying to the public, should we kind of categorize them as students?
We are not releasing any information about the victims at this time. We fully expect to provide additional updates today, and in one of the successive updates in the hours to come, we will provide more details on the victims so that we can continue to have an opportunity to communicate with the families and such. So we just need a little bit more time on that.
And 2 fatals?
Yes, that it is still the case that there were 2 fatalities yesterday.
Mayor, you were saying, there's extra police presence around the city today. People shouldn't be alarmed by that. But can people with this person in custody, the city's been on edge all night, can people breathe a little easier right now, given that news? Yeah,
the people of Providence should breathe a little easier this morning. The reason that we are here, and as the Colonel has said many times, the investigation with regard to the individual who has been detained is very much ongoing and in the middle of it right now, but we're providing this update specifically so that the people of Providence can breathe a little easier this morning. That is also why we feel confident and comfortable to lift the shelter in place for the city.
Mayor, notably, today is the 13-year anniversary of the Sandy Hook school shooting. How has that helped shape your response to a shooting like this, and what more do we need to do? So,
as I mentioned yesterday, our 2 priorities as of last night were to, 1, bring the individual responsible to justice, and that investigation is ongoing, although we have a meaningful update that we've just provided. 2 is our concern for the victims who, as I mentioned, are still, most of whom are still hospitalized. That remains our priority right now. But as everyone mentioned yesterday, the governor, President Paxson, and myself, And this is because of the times in which we live, Sandy Hook and many other instances of violence around our country. Any of us in leadership capacities have had to think about this. We have a generation of kids who have done active shooter trainings. That was not something I had to do when I was a kid. And we all, I think maybe intellectually, we knew it could happen anywhere, including here, but that's not the same as it happening in our community. And so this is an incredibly upsetting and emotional time for Providence, for Brown, for all of us. I'm sorry to say we have thought about this. As we mentioned yesterday, we've all trained for this. This is not something we should have to train for. But we have, including very recently. And that's why we're here not, 16 hours later, 17 hours later, in a positive way with an update and an investigation that has progressed very quickly. Part of that success is because of the collaboration that we've had between law enforcement agencies. They train regularly for that collaboration. That practice was already there so that we could work so well together with so many resources being offered, which is wonderful that those resources were offered, but they're only as good as you can use them. And we were able to use them because we had trained for this moment. But this is not something any community should have to train for. And so there'll be plenty of time to talk about what should happen, what should have happened in our society and in our community. But right now, our priorities remain the same as they were yesterday, which is to bring the individual responsible to justice, and there's an investigation that is ongoing but making good progress, and to ensure the full and complete recovery of the survivors of this attack who are still at Rhode Island Hospital and whose status has not degraded, and we should all thank God for that. And so we plan on providing additional updates throughout the day today. But to the earlier question, yes, the community in Providence should breathe at least a small sigh of relief at this moment.
President Max, a similar question that was just asked. Unfortunately, now Brown's going to be listed. Sandy Hook, the names unfortunately come up. Just what's your reaction to?
Well, I mean, when something like this happens, as the mayor said, it's something we think about, we have prepared for in coordination with the local law enforcement. But when it happens, it's just hard to believe. And our community's strong, and we'll get through it. But it's devastating, and I know it is for the entire Providence community too.
You all mentioned there were over 400 police officers last night. Has that number increased with this enhancement, or it stayed the same?
So we have reduced it at this point. And so, yeah, but as the mayor stated, we'll make sure that just enhance the law enforcement for the day and just because of the different events that are going on in the city. So.
Do you have a number?